Hello, children. How are you all? Enjoying your vacation nicely? Oh, you got so many holidays, okay? Okay. Now, today I want to discuss a small poem. Okay. So, let us see what is that poem. It is just, I'll show you the pictures. Let us see. What is this? Can you see this? Yeah, by seeing these pictures, I think you have come to know something. You got some idea, isn't it? Yeah, what is it? It is fog. Yeah, two pictures are covered with fog. Okay, when do you get fog? In which season? Winter season. Okay, you all know what is fog. It's droplets of water. It comes in winter season. Okay, now before going to this poem, just I want to tell you about the poet. Who is the poet? Let us see. Here, the poet of this poem is Carl Sandburg. Who is he? Carl Sandburg. Carl, Sand, Carl August Sandburg was born on 6th January 1878 in Galesburg, Illinois, United States. Okay, he won. He was an American poet, writer, and editor. He won three Pulitzer Prizes, two for his poetry and one for his biography of Abraham Lincoln. He wrote the biography of Abraham Lincoln and he won many prizes for his poetry. What are Pulitzer Prizes? Do you know what is Pulitzer Prize? A Pulitzer Prize is nothing. It is a prize given in for American literature, music, composition, literature, magazines, journalism. Okay, this prize is given by Columbia University in New York. Okay, and this there are 13 prizes selected every year. This was brought up by Joseph Pulitzer in the year 1917. So this is about Pulitzer prizes. Okay. Now, Sandberg was widely regarded as a major figure in contemporary literature. What is contemporary literature? It is the literature which is written after World War II. Okay, contemporary, what does it mean by contemporary? Though you write the literature long back, whenever you read it looks modern, it looks new, so it is called as contemporary literature. Next, he died on 22nd July 1967 in North California, United States. This is about the poet. Now let us go on for poem. It is the fog, poem number 9. See, first I'll read the poem. Children, please see the textbooks. Okay. The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. This is a small poem of 21 words. Okay, two sentences already are there in this poem. Did you observe the poem? See here, two sentences. Okay, next. Here, the poet has compared fog with the characteristic. He has taken one characteristic of a cat and compared with the fog. What is he saying is how the cat comes. It comes slowly without making noise, without making sound. So, in the same way, the fog also appears over the harbor, cities, in the same way, silently, without making sound. Children, you have observed cats in your houses. Do they make noise when they come to your house? No, they don't make noise. When they come, when they go, we didn't know. We will not know at all, isn't it? So, in the same way, he has compared the fog. The cat comes silently and moves on. In the same way, the fog also appears in the city, over the harbor, everywhere, silently and slowly it moves on. He has taken one characteristic of a cat and compared with the nature. So once again I am reading the poem. See here, the fog comes on little cat feet. That means it comes silently like a cat. It sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. means it appears, its presence is everywhere in the city, and slowly it moves on. Haunches. What is meant by haunches? Haunches means bending the back part of the body. You know, children, cat, how does it sits on 2 feet? It bends the back part of its body, isn't it? So in the same way, he has compared that sitting, that silentness, that movement of cat with a fog. He has compared nature with a creature. Okay, this is a small poem what I have explained you. I think you all have got. See once, the fog comes on little cat feet, it sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. Okay, next, see the what are the vocabulary words in this? Fog, droplets. Fog means, you know, droplets of water which are formed. Okay, harbor means it is a place where ships take off. Haunches, haunches means sitting with knees bent, bending the back part. Okay, these are the vocabulary words. Next comes rhyme scheme. What is the rhyme scheme in this poem? Actually, this poem does not have rhyme scheme. How do we know? It is a free verse. The poem which does not have rhyme scheme is called a free verse. How do we know, ma'am? You may get the doubt. That means this poem does not have any rhyming words. See the ending words, all of you. See the ending words. Do you have any rhyming words in this poem? No. So, when there are no rhyming words, we don't have any rhyme scheme. It does not have any rhythm in the ending. It means, rhythm means what? No rhyming words, no musical similarity. So this poem is considered as a free verse. Next, enjambment. What is enjambment? See here children, once you observe the poem has no punctuation marks. This poem has no punctuation marks. The same, only this poem is of 2 sentences. No punctuation marks, no commas and all, only full stop is given. The same line is continued. That is, the fog comes on little cat feet. Next, it sits looking over harbor and city on silent haunches and then moves on. That is the second sentence. Only 2 sentences are there. The same sentence is repeated. I mean, the same sentence is continued. Okay, so this device is enjambment. This device consists of enjambment. That means no punctuation marks. When the same sentence is continued in 2-3 ways, 2-3 parts, it is called an enjambment. We don't have any punctuation marks. That means it means there are no punctuation marks at the end of the sentence. The meaning runs over one poetic line to the next. When the same line is continuing, it is called enjambment. Okay, did you understand, children? Next, let us go. What are the figures of speech in this poem? The fog comes. It is personification. Who comes here? The fog. The poet has personified the fog here. Next, it sits. It sits means what? Who sits here? Fog sits. It comes from somewhere. It sits. That means it occupies some place, some areas, and again it moves away. The presence of fog is seen everywhere in the city. So it is called as it sits. So this is also personification. Next, cat feet. Cat feet is compared as metaphor. Cat feet is compared with fog. Here cat feet is referred to fog and vice versa. So it is a metaphor. Next, what is the theme of the poem? What did we understand from this poem? That means it's nothing but the theme that Sandberg is trying to convey to his reader is nature's uncaring attitude towards mankind. What is uncaring attitude, ma'am? That means we people, we humans depend on nature, but nature does not depend on humans. See, for example, if we want to perform any function, if we have some programs of shopping or whatever may be, we see the climate, we see the weather. According to that, we plan our programs. Suppose you want to perform some marriages, some prayers, some functions, and all, you want to attend some functions, you depend upon the weather and climatic conditions, and according to that you fix some dates, isn't it? Oh, it's rainy season, let us go postpone to some other season. Oh, it's summer season, let us postpone to some other season. So suppose you want to go for shopping, it's very hot, today we can't go, okay, let us go tomorrow, it's very hot. So according to that we plan our programs. We humans plan depending on the nature, but whereas nature does not depend on humans. For example, you see in Delhi and all, there is lot of fog in winter season. Of course, in winter season there is a lot of fog, but many accidents occur in fog, isn't it? Will it stop? Will the fog think that are humans are coming, they are coming in bike, they are coming in cars, let me go away, let me move aside? Will it think like that? No, it does not depend on nature. It does not depend on humans. Nature does its own work. Only humans depend on nature. So what is the poet conveying is the theme that Sandberg is trying to convey to his reader is nature's uncaring attitude towards mankind. It does not care the humans. It does not care the mankind. It does its own work. The poet says that the people are a part of nature, but nature is not about to bend to the will and desires of people. Nature will never bend before people. Only people should bend and work according to the nature. They are totally dependent on nature. Next, it is uncaring and will do what it pleases. It will never think of the people, it will never think of the animals, it will do what it pleases. Array, people are there, array, animals are there, will it think? No. So it does what it pleases. So children, I think you have understood this poem. If you have any doubts, you can put a message to me. Okay, thank you. Bye.